Hello all. In this lecture I am going to share a number of examples of functions, complex variable functions which are not analytic anywhere, or we can call them a nowhere analytic function. So before I discuss with you about the important observation, I'll first solve all the question using result that we have already done in the first lecture. I made two lectures before it, wherein I discussed the sufficient condition for a function u plus iota v to be analytic. The first condition is that CR equations hold, and the second condition, these are the CR equation, ux is equals to vy and uy is equals to minus vx. These are the partial derivatives, right, for with respect to x and y. And the second condition is that these four partial derivative are all continuous. So if these two conditions are fulfilled, we can declare the function to be analytic. And remember, this condition is the necessary condition. If this condition fails, we are not going to discuss about the continuity aspect, because this is must condition. Now let us take few examples. Now first example is that fz is can be written as x minus iota y. So we will follow the these steps. We find out u is equals to x, v is equals to minus y, ux is equals to 1, uy is equals to 0, and vx is equals to 0 because there is no x here, and vy is equals to minus 1. And we are observing that because both equations are important, so we can say that they are not equal, so CR equation does not hold, right? So CR equation does not hold means fz is not analytic anywhere, or you can call it, even you can say not differentiable, because CR equation is also needed for a function to be differentiable. So if CR equation are not satisfied, you can, if somebody is asking you whether they are differentiable or not, you can make use of these CR equations. But right now my motive is to work on this part of the complex variable function. Analyticity we are discussing from the last two video lectures, so that's why I'm sticking to this terminology, right? So it is not analytic. Come to the question number 2. Question number 2, I have taken fz is equals to rez. Now what is rez? We know that what is z is equals to, z is equals to x plus iota y. When you are finding re, r means real part of z, this is real part of z, and somebody is writing imaginary of z, it is y. So here the function is x. So when it is x, how do we write down? We have to write down u plus iota v. When there is no iota term, so I can write like 0 times iota. So x is equals to, u is equals to x, v is equals to 0. Then we find partial derivative of u with respect to x is 1, with respect to y is 0. Then v is 0, so both our partial derivative obviously will be 0. Again we observe that these two expressions are not equal. CR equation not satisfy, so nowhere analytic, because there is no point. It is very clearly you are getting 1 and you are getting 0, never equal, not for even a single point. So they are not satisfying anywhere, so function is nowhere analytic. And then we can think on the same line, imaginary z they are saying, so it means it is y. And when you are saying y here, so y is again I think I have made a, I'll do this terms, wait, there is some error, let me do rectify. So here it is y, y is my, because there is again I have a 0 times iota. So what is u? U is equals to y. And what is v? V is equals to 0. Differentiation of ux is 0, differentiation of uy is 1. Vx is equals to here 0, vy is equals to what is that? It is again 0. Now you are observing here uy is you can write one of the equation I will identify. You can say that vx uy is not equals to minus times vx. So CR equation does not hold. You see here, if one equation is okay, doesn't mean that uh, we cannot say that this much CR equation is fine, then the function is analytic, something like that. So both equation are, when they are taken together, we call these two CR equations. So here it is not analytic. Now come to the See, I have skipped this question from here, my list of the questions. Fourth and fifth question I discussed in my first video lecture. Here I already discussed, so any one of you want to go through it, you can go from there. We have declared that it is CR equation not satisfied, and similarly I discussed this a is x minus iota y whole square. These two equations are already, means these two functions already done in the first lecture. This is fourth and fifth question. Fine. So sixth and seventh, let us solve, and then I want to quickly share with you the main point of discussion. What I'm doing right now, I'm just sharing this question. If you don't know anything, at least this much work is to be done. Now in the last, I'll share with you what are the conclusion, means without solving, do you have any trick, do you have any shortcut by which we can at least, wherever possible, we guess that it is nowhere analytic function. So that is main point. But what I decided, I will not jump to the shortcuts in the beginning. Let us solve all the question in a systematic manner, and then we will come to the main, I would say, the important result. So here one question is given, already written in x and y. This part is your u and this part is your v. We will do the same thing. Ux is 2x plus y. Uy comes out to be here uy. This is ux, so it is 2x. Differentiation of x is 1, so y will left. And what about uy? Here there is no y in the first term, 0. So this part will be there. If you see this side now, so what I have done, this is 0 plus x times 1, so it is x here. Here x square derivative is 2x, and this is y is constant and derivative of x is 1, that's why you're getting 2x plus y. So we are doing a partial differentiation, so we then pick v here, and what is vx? Here there is no x in this part, so it will be 0, and x is here, so minus 3x derivative is minus 3. And similarly, when you are finding vy, let me, there's some mistake. So what is vy here? Vy is 3y square. So we can observe very easily 2x plus y is not equals to 3y square, minus 3 is not equals to x. So again CR equation not satisfied, so it is not analytic at any point, so we'll call it a nowhere analytic, right? This is my last example of this discussion. Fz is equals to e to the power z bar, e to the power x minus iota y. So bar means it is a conjugate, so we apply the this, what we say, exponent rule. We separate it when base is same, power added, so here it is minus iota y. Now when you simplify, here Euler's formula is used, e to the power plus minus iota theta can be written as cos of theta plus minus iota sine of theta. What does it mean? If you have a positive, you keep a positive. If you have a minus, you keep a minus in between. So I have a minus here, so I'll keep minus in this side. Now my motive is in this discussion that we are handling a CR equations and we need u and y, so we have to write down it properly so that we can identify u and v. So this part, so we need to multiply this ex with each term within the bracket, and we come up with ex cos y, and here ey sin y, minus ex sin y. So again u is there, v is there. When again we will do the same activity, we pick u and differentiate with respect to x. Ex is here, so you get the differentiation. Cos y is constant. Again we go for u and differentiate partially with respect to y. Y is cos, y is in cos, so derivative of cos is minus sin y. Ex being constant will be multiplied as it is. Now we pick the v. Derivative of x is e to the power x minus sin y will be as it is in the part, and then we have vy, and it is equals to minus of ex sin y, derivative is cos y. So again you are observing we are not having they are equal, because they are of opposite sign, but ux should be equals to vy. So first equation is also not fulfilling, second equation is not fulfilling because they are equal, and we don't want this equation to be equal, this equation should be opposite. So CR equations are not satisfied, so function is nowhere analytic. Now come to the important point which I want to share. Now, as you all know that for finding whether the function is analytic or not, we have the two sufficient conditions. But if you really want to make use of some observation, and if you are facing any competitive examination questions and you are looking for a quick answer, so for that this observation, or you can say this note, is very important. Now always remember, if a complex variable function is in z bar, or any function of z bar, means if you see somewhere z bar is present in the function, you can predict the answer. What you can predict, that such functions are nowhere analytic. I am not saying that every function which is nowhere analytic is always expressed in z bar. I am saying in other way. If you see z bar in the question, if you see z bar in any of the function, or part of function is in z bar, you can predict answer that it is nowhere analytic. So remember, if there is any function expressed in z bar, it is always non-analytic. Why I am doing this activity with you, what I will do, whatever question we have done in this lecture, we are going to see that how many of them can be written in z bar, and we can guess before solving. Like if you have a question z bar, you can, if your answer is just to tick the option, then as you see z bar, you can say nowhere analytic, right? Now we have a real z. You have seen that we also discussed this question, and this is also nowhere analytic. And remember, real z can also be expressed in z bar. How? Because when you add z and z bar, and it will give you double, so x is actually half of that z plus z bar. Similarly, imaginary z can also be written in z bar. Reason being, because this I am sharing, if you are clear, if you know that real z can be written, it is very useful thought in you. You can at least guess your answer. Imaginary z is the difference of these two terms, right? And when we say mod z square, remember student, mod z square is actually, what is mod z? Mod z is equals to root of x square plus y square, and when you take square, it is x square plus y square. But there is another way to express it. Always remember, mod z square is always equals to z into z bar, and you know z into z bar is actually multiplying these two opposite sign term, and you get x square plus y square. It means it is also expressible. Just see, mod z square is also expressed in z bar. Here this interior x base is x minus iota y, and you know x, what is x minus iota y? Z bar. So just imagine here also z bar is there. Without solving, I can say it is nowhere analytic. This sixth example, I can't write it. So wherever possible, it's okay. Where you cannot guess, when there is no guarantee, that you just solve. For that, it's not that 100% nowhere function are always written in z bar. This question cannot be written. Seventh question, you can see we have discussed just now. So I hope you got an idea that what I want to convey. I am not saying, please, I want you to note a point. I am not saying that every nowhere analytic function is always expressed. What I want to convey, if you see z bar in your function and you are talking about the behavior of whether analytic or not, where, how many points, some or everywhere or nowhere, if such kind of discussion is there it will very useful. So I hope you have gotten my idea. Thank you.